we talk a little bit about that too, the mental, emotional side of it? Because there is so much focus paid to the physical.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the physical is what we see, it's what we can touch.
Right.
But especially on your journey, that mental, emotional side, it happened during a time when you were just starting your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was a baby, really, looking back. I mean, I didn't feel that way then. But, I was so young and ready to, take on the world. And then it felt so unfair. It felt unfair. That's probably the best way to describe it. I'm not a woe is me type person, but I was angry for sure. Like, why did this happen to me? There's not a strong genetic component. It's like, what, why? Why now? I mean, all those kind of things that you struggle with. Was it something I did? I don't know. Am I going to survive this? Even though, like I said, your prognosis is good, there's still a percentage that it's not good. It's a lot of emotion, and it is. I think it's a lot you want to be this positive, voice for everybody, and they want you to be that too. I mean, they just do. I mean, we're human. They want to see, that, oh, look, no, she's happy. She's this, and I was. I mean, I was young. I was still living life and hanging out with friends, and but I was going through something very heavy, and it was very, very hard, and and it was hard not to have those negative spiraling thoughts. And I'm a very, very positive person by nature, and so I think that part was really hard on my mental game.
Did you have anything that you did when you started having those spirals that helped pull you back?
Yeah, I do think my blog, I mean, it wasn't a traditional blog. It was Carrying Bridge. I don't know if people are familiar with that, but you can kind of update loved ones, and I would update this Carrying Bridge. I think that helped me a lot. I think leaning on my family, my fiance at the time. I mean, he was really my punching bag for sure. He's just I could go out and put on a face for an hour, and then I would come home and I could be myself in front of him, which was such a gift that he had given me, but was probably very hard on him. Again, when you're the caretaker in the situation, people don't focus on them enough, so I have a lot of empathy for him, but what a gift he gave me that I could come home and let my hair down. And we were living with my mom, which was such a blessing at the time, because I think they could really help each other out in that sense too. But she was there with me too through a lot of this, and how hard and challenging that must have been for her to watch her child be sick and vulnerable at that age. But they really saw a lot of it, which was, I'm sure hard on them, but it was really a blessing for me that I could. My mom's such a straight shooter too, so I didn't have to kind of cover that up for her. And Josh, that's my husband's name. I mean, he really stuck up for me a lot too. If people in our life, I'd always say sometimes I would start to talk about it and people would change the subject, not meaning to. I just think it's not a fun thing to talk about. And, Josh would be like, you got to let her finish what she's saying, not in front of everybody, but to the side. And I think that always made me feel good. I never felt like he was oh, just, push it under the rug a little bit. He was always no, it's good. It's good for everybody to hear how you're really feeling. And he knew that helped me. So I was lucky that I had people around me that liked to hear that vulnerable side, I guess, if that makes sense. Because that would be very hard for me. I needed to get it out as best I could. I needed to call my sisters and sob on the phone, and not feel like they were judging me, or I had to wrap it up in a pretty bow. So that I think was the most helpful for me. And then I did go to therapy once I was done with treatment. I didn't have the mental capacity to work on my mental health during. I just needed to get through it and survive. the chemo and all of that. But then after I went to therapy, and that was some of the hardest work I had done, but was very, very impactful. I'm so glad I did it.
It's amazing and brave. So
Yeah, exactly.
it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And the site you mentioned was Caring Bridge?
Yes.
Okay.
So Caring Bridge is a place where, and it's not just for cancer, but it's if, you want to be able to update, 100 people, so that I'm not sending an email to each person, just got out of chemo or just got out of, my scan, and it shows that this is happening. It's just a way to kind of blast out the information, which is nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.